Coming up next on Virginia Outdoor Life, get tips from the man who keeps the written record on local fishing, Bob Hutchinson. Plus, meet a sculptor who has turned his love of the outdoors into a work of art. And check out the action inshore in Hatteras. You don't have to go off the coast to have a fantastic fishing day. We've got one heck of a half hour ahead, so kick back and enjoy. Virginia Outdoor Life is next. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. This is Virginia Outdoor Life for Saturday, June 28th, along with Captain Eric Burnley. I'm Bob Matthews. We're here aboard the Gimli, which is the captain's charter boat, which people can rent just about any day of the week.
Anytime they want to go, we'd be more than happy to take them. And the fishing is fantastic. The weather's finally gotten good, so we're doing real good out there with cobia and drum and trout and flounder. We're just having a good time.
Well, speaking of fishing, we're going out this weekend with one of the area's most well-known fishermen, Bob Hutchinson. You probably know him from his articles in the Virginia Pilot. He's their outdoor writer. You guys got together, decided to go chase a few.
Right. Bob's been with the newspaper for over 30 years, and he's a native of the Eastern Shore, so we went over to his native haunts there off the concrete ships in Chesapeake and got into a little trout fishing. This afternoon we're going to try a little trout fishing right here off of Chesapeake State Park. We got the concrete ships behind us, and we're fishing with Mr. Bob Hutchinson, the outdoor editor of the Virginian Pilot. And for how many years, Bob?
34 this coming Christmas.
34 years.
Yeah, I'm originally from Eastern Shore.
I know. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So what are we going to do? Go out here and just try jigging a little bit?
We're going to go out here and try jigging with sting silvers. It's 30, 35 feet of water just beyond the ships, and we caught them real good in here a couple weeks ago.
That's it. All right, well, let's take off and see what we can find out.
Okay, I'm ready.
These concrete ships were used during World War II to supply the Allies in Europe from the factories here in the United States. They're made out of concrete with reinforcing rods, so they were very quick to produce. All they had to do was build a form, set the reinforcing rods, pour in the concrete, pop out a ship, go do it all over again. And after the war, they didn't have any more use for them, so they brought some of them in here and sank them as bulkheads to protect the ferry terminal in there, to keep the ferry terminal safe from the storms. I'm just letting it dead stick, Bob. They're nailing it.
Yeah, I felt like I was getting strikes that time on the way down.
Yeah, I'm just casting it out and letting it fall, and they're just pounding it. Just me trying to keep a hook in them. Look how clear that water is. Isn't that pretty or what? That's a pretty fish. So now, Bob, you were born and raised here on the shore, correct?
Many, many years ago.
Yeah, I know, but it was still called the Eastern Shore back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's still called home, too.
Yeah.
It always will be, I guess.
What town did you grow up near or in or whatever?
In the thriving city of Harborton. There was about 150 people there when everybody was home.
Most of the time, that
was usually, yeah. It's basically a retirement village now. Most of the people who live there are retiring from around Washington or up north somewhere. Not many native Harbortonians left. But I've been in the beach. I got to stop and think. 34 years.
34 years in the beach?
In Kempsville. Yeah, but the Eastern
Shore. Did you come over here to work at the paper? Or?
Yeah, I worked for the Eastern Shore News over here for 9.5 years after I got out of high school. Didn't go to college, and went to work for the Eastern Shore News. And worked there first as a printer's devil, doing everything, delivering papers on Thursday, and eventually I became sports editor and did some general news writing. And in the summertime, I wrote a fishing column. And then I was advertising manager for the last year and a half I was there. And Jim Mays was the outdoor editor of the Virginian Pilot at the time, and he changed jobs and recommended me for it. And I went over and interviewed and went to work, and I started work Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah.
My pay period started, but being a holiday, I was off that day. Oh, this is a right nice fish, Eric.
All right, Bob. Now, when you were growing up, what was the fishing like over here then?
Eric, it was good. It was not the best time for trout. If you caught a citation then was 4 pounds, and if you caught a 3-pounder, you took it around and showed it to everyone.
Yeah. What was the fish
But,
of the day?
A flounder was a fish then. Wager Prig was just a really thriving town. The old hotel was still there, and we used to go to watch Prig, and you know, it was nothing to. The benchmark was to catch 100 a day. If you didn't catch 100 a day, you didn't have a good day.
Well, we caught our limit on trout, so we decided to slide on in here in the basin and try to catch some flounder. We've had a couple bites. We haven't gotten any flounder yet. All right, well, the sun's setting kind of low, and we may make, well, I got a little something here biting that I just let go. Anyway, the sun's setting kind of low, so we're going to head on back and call it a day here on the Eastern Shore.
Well, it looks like you guys had a really great time out there.
It was fantastic. We were just, every cast was a fish. It was a lot of fun.
How long should we expect the fishing to stay good on the Eastern Shore?
It'll be good right through October, November for various species. The trout will move out, the croaker will move in, there'll be flounder, there'll be cobia, there'll be drum.
Right.
It's just good. We should have good fishing right on through December now.
Okay, hey, sounds great. Let's get out and enjoy it. And coming up next, we're going to head a little bit south from there, down to Carolina, where we got some good fishing too.
Right, went out with Steve Gwynn out of Hatteras Inlet, well, actually behind Hatteras Inlet in the shallow waters, just to try it out back there. We've done so much going offshore and fishing the surf, we wanted to show folks there's other things to do at Cape Hatteras.
That's next as Virginia Outdoor Life rolls on from Virginia Beach. Welcome back. We're at Lynn Haven Dry Storage Marina in Virginia Beach, but we are about to head down to North Carolina to do a little fishing off the Outer Banks, where it's pretty good this time of year too.
Right, Captain Steve Gwynn, a lot of the captains down there, most of them take their big boats and go offshore. Steve's got a smaller boat. He fishes in behind the Barrier Islands, where he finds a lot of people enjoy that type of fishing.
Okay, let's go check it out.
This morning we've come out here with Captain Steve Gwynn, try a little backcountry fishing at Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands. We've been down here on several occasions before, and we've always either gone offshore for giant bluefin tuna or marlin, or else we've fished in the surf. And there is a tremendous amount of excellent fishing back here behind these islands in the Sound that a lot of people don't know about or take advantage of, and Steve runs a charter service that brings folks back here. So we just wanted to let you know of another type of fishing that is available when you come to Hatteras on vacation, or you just come down to do some fishing. He'd make a good fillet. Whoa!
Oh, that was good.
All right. Put on a new finesse and feed it to a bluefish, and I'll show you what you have left. Not a whole lot.
We're in the back of a big channel behind Ocracoke Island near the ferry dock. It's about 15 to 20 feet of water back here, and I've been finding bluefish and gray trout almost every day for the past 2 months back here. I have a little double leader tied for about 12 inches.
Yeah, I
just
saw
bent
that.
over and picked that up.
I saw that.
That's a charter tactic to save money. We're gonna go to the good spot.
So Steve, what can we expect to catch here today?
We should be able to catch plenty of bluefish and gray trout in this hole. I've caught them just about every day I've been out for the last 2 months. And most of the fish are ranging anywhere from 12 inches up to about 18 inches, or about 1.5 pounds.
Guess they want rubber lures, huh?
There he is. This is Mr. Gray Trout.
Yeah. Get him in the boat, get him in the boat, then we'll put him back in the water. Good man. That's a good fish, too. Nothing wrong with that. Fish on every cast. That's what we like.
I provide half-day and full-day sound and ocean trips for just about any species that's out there. There he is.
Want the net?
No, I can get him.
Yeah, I got this one. All right, let's get them together here.
If you're wondering about measurements, yeah, yours is bigger than mine.
Yeah, about the
They're
same.
almost the same. I fish usually in this boat from around late March through November, and after that it's a little bit too cold to go out in this boat. I also have a 17-foot boat. It's an aluminum V-bottom boat with a 30 horsepower Yamaha on it. And I'll bring that back here on real pretty days with parties from 1 to 3 people and do the same kind of fishing we're doing right now. And you can save yourself a little money by going on that.
Hooked up, 2 at a time. Doesn't get any better than this. Another one coming up. Now there's what he was eating. Look at the size of the fish he was. Oh, that's a shrimp. That's those big shrimp you were talking about.
Really?
See
Did you
it?
spit one up?
Yeah, see it floating
Oh, I
out
see
there?
it. Look at that big shrimp out
That's
there.
not a bad fish there. I mean, for what we're catching, he ought to go 12 inches. We're going to get out of here. The tide's falling pretty fast,
Mine got off.
so we want to get out before we get stuck in here and can't get out. This has just been spectacular out here this morning. We've gotten our limit. Now we're just catching and releasing. So this fish gets to go
There we
free.
go. Hooked up.
Hooked up, double header. All right, buddy.
All right.
Good day, good
Way
day.
to go.
Enjoyable morning. It's not even 9:30. We have had a ball.
Welcome back to Virginia Outdoor Life. We are here aboard the Gimli, which is the captain's charter boat. And by the way, it's available 7 days a week if you want to go
7
out
days a
there.
week.
And right now we want to introduce you to a guy named Bill Turner. Bill kind of sees the outdoors a little bit different way than other people. Isn't that
Right. He is able to take his view of the outdoors and transform it into some of the most beautiful sculpture I've ever seen in my life. He is also a native of the Eastern Shore and a friend of Hutch. They went to high school together. And both of them really have turned into artists of sorts. And but Bill's art is sculpture, and it is absolutely breathtaking.
And if you don't believe Eric, take a look at this.
How did you become interested in sculpture? I mean, was it something that interested you as a boy, or was it
Yeah,
something you
well,
came
in a
into
way,
it?
my father was a carpenter, and I used to help him a lot. And then I got building boats when I was a teenager.
Large boats like work boats, or?
Mainly 14, 15, 16-foot outboard skiffs.
I got it.
And then I do a lot of whittling with scraps that were left over. And then I really wanted to do sculpture, and I met a man named Robert Rockwell, who was a sculptor who had moved down here from New York City and retired, and he helped me a lot, had a big influence on my life, which is being handed on down to my son.
Oh, yeah. I'm here with Dave Turner. How you doing?
There you
Great. Now, Dave, this is how a project would be presented to a client or a person that was looking for something, right? You would
That's
make
right.
this, and it's called a.
This is called a maquette, and it's a
Maquette.
small-scale model or miniature of a prospective larger piece.
Now, from there, do you automatically progress to what we see here, or is there another step in between?
There's some steps in between. Once they decide on a composition, I can alter this, little changes in this until they got the composition that they liked in this small scale. Then I would make an armature, which is an internal support for this clay, because I couldn't just stack this clay up. I need an internal support for this
Sure.
clay, so I had
Okay.
to construct that. That was made out of wood and foam and metal. And then after that was done, that's when I started putting the clay on top of the foam and wood, the armature. And now we're going to make a rubber mold around this.
And
these
that's what
clay
this
models.
black stuff
That's
is
right.
here.
This is the first step. It's called the drip coat in making the rubber mold. Then eventually there'll be a layer of plaster around the rubber, and the plaster gives the rubber some support. The rubber takes every bit of detail I have in the clay model. Even a fingerprint would come through in the rubber. And then we'll cut the rubber molds apart, and then we'll have the negative of this clay now
Right.
in the rubber, and that's what we'll do. We go to the next step. We make a wax casting from that rubber mold. What you see in here is there's inside of every piece here there's a wax casting, and they've been dipped a certain number of times in a ceramic liquid. Like this, for example, is that's the head of a white-tailed deer. And it's a bust of a deer. You can see just barely the antlers here. This piece is almost finished. There's a wax inside of this. There's really probably get
Like
one
that
more
wing
dip.
there.
That's right. Now the wax casting being dipped in the ceramic liquid. Then they'll dip it in a sand material which binds with the liquid there to give a rough surface. And that rough surface is what lets it, next time we dip it, the rough surface, the next dip or layer will stick to it. So you don't have delamination of layers coming apart on your ceramic mold. This is a ceramic mold that's been dipped in the ceramic liquid. The wax has been dipped in the ceramic liquid, and then we take it and we put it in the furnace. We melt it out all that wax.
Right.
So So now you see the negative or the empty space where that wax was. This area here will now be the area where we're going to pour the molten bronze into, and that'll serve like a funnel to flow down into this piece.
This wasn't part of the sculpture, right?
That wasn't part of the sculpture.
You made this when you made that so you could use it like a funnel.
That's right, exactly. We attach that to it. Now the molten bronze is being poured into that preheated ceramic shell mold. That particular piece happens to be a bookend bear that I did. Actually, there's 6 of them in this pouring. Any metal left in the crucible, they're going to pour out into those little forms, and we can reuse that. You just don't want to leave molten bronze in the bottom of a crucible. It can cause it to crack later. This is a sculpture my dad did reminiscent of his childhood, a boy swinging a baseball bat. And he's got other parts of the sculpture is the bottom of a bushel basket for the home plate. And then it comes in here where the different pieces are welded together and the seams all blended in.
Well, there's his phone number if you want to get a hold of him and talk to him about some of his sculpture. He's located right on Route 13 in Accomack County, and they have a gorgeous showroom there with not only his art, but his son's art and his grandchildren's art. So it's worthwhile just to stop in and look. And I think once you look, you're going to find something you want to buy.
Yeah, that stuff is extremely impressive.
It is. It was probably the most impressive thing I've seen in many years.
I hear you.
It is.
Hey, time to open up the Outdoor Scrapbook. Speaking of impressive, we got some good stuff to show you this week, so let's not waste any more time. We open up the book, and I'm going to let you start first.
Okay, here we have a 1 pound, 8 ounce shell cracker. It was caught by Robert Cox. He's from Portsmouth, and he's 12 years old. Caught and released at Spite Run in Suffolk. He's a member of the Portsmouth Anglers Club, all right, and his proud uncle Michael Jones sat in the picture.
All right, this is Robert Darden of Cortland. This is his very first deer, so congratulations.
Yes, congratulations,
there.
Robert.
There are all those weird kind of rituals you got to do with the deer.
Well, I think some do and some don't. I didn't go in for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, let's hope he didn't have to do it, but that's just
Oh,
me.
he was with the firefighters from Virginia Beach.
So he's probably all right.
Probably all right.
He was taken last season on his father's farm, and thanks to Rick Kellogg for sending this picture in. Thanks, Rick.
And then we have Keith Sawyer of Hobbsville, North Carolina, a 67-pound yellowfin fishing off of Hatteras aboard the Fanatic. One of 5 yellowfins caught, also a wahoo and a king mackerel. He said he and his family love our show.
We got to take a break, but when we come back, it is hot product time. We got a mess of stuff to give away. We decided to clean out the closet this week, so stick around. It's next as Virginia Outdoor Life rolls on from the beach. Welcome back to Shy. It's just too hot out there in the sun. We had to move under the canopy here.
Well, I paid all the extra money for the hardtop. Get out of the sun.
There you go. All right, hot product time. We got a mess of stuff to give away because we've decided to clean out the cabinet. So why don't you start? The first thing here is
okay. We've got a duck call from Fowl Foolers. From Primos, we've got a turkey video.
All right, now our first winner is Jesse Sutherland of Norfolk. So congratulations, Jesse. You have got our hunting package.
Okay,
I'll put
our
that
next.
right over here.
All right, our next.
What do we got next?
All right, here, put this with it real quick.
Okay.
All right, our next is a hat from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and a bandana from Sandana, American's Headgear.
Sounds good. And the winner of that package is Norma Chandler of Williamsburg. Congratulations,
Norma.
Wear it well.
Norma's card. All right, our next is a deer hunting package, starting off with a Spartan Realtree bag to carry your stuff afield, sports heat glove warmers, HP X5 broadhead sharpeners and wrench, and we have a Premier rifle and bow hoist by Ideal Hunting Products in a camouflage bag, and we have 3-in-1 deer call from Hideout Rattling Sticks.
Okay, sounds good. And the winner of that first deer package is Jack Hoffer of Hertford, North Carolina. So congratulations,
Jack. Nice
you
package
are a
there.
winner. And finally.
Sure, if he lives in Hertford, he hunts deer.
Absolutely.
Okay, now our final package is from Primos in a Primos bag, and we have in here several different things, including some Hideout pre-rut.
Gotta have pre-rut.
Gotta have your pre-rut. We've got another caller from Hughes Products, a deer call. We've got your favorite, doe urine.
Oh yes, you can't go hunting without it.
Collected by Bob, just for us.
Absolutely.
And a couple more sports heat packages in there to keep your hands warm.
Okay, the final winner of the day. Drum roll, please. Carrie Lafreniere from Newport News, our good friends up there.
Oh, Lafreniere's, all right, yeah.
Well, they sent us in enough pictures.
I'm telling you, I'm glad they won something.
Absolutely.
If she's half successful as deer hunting as she is at striper fishing,
yeah,
a
she's
deer
gonna be
in
all
big trouble.
Real quick, how about a fishing forecast? What can we look forward
It's just, this is the perfect time of year. Given good weather, we shouldn't have any problems going out and catching flounder, trout, croaker, just about anything you want. Cobia, drum, of course, they're going to be harder to catch, but they're out there. Offshore should really start to pop with yellowfin, tuna, dolphin, and perhaps some marlin.
It's the high season.
It's the high season, buddy.
Well, go out and enjoy it. We'll see you later. He's Eric Burnley. I'm Bob Matthews.
Y'all take them easy.